Guys, I'm Nico Estrelli. I'm the owner and founder of Badandboostedmotorsports, and I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a background of our shop. What inspired you to start Badandboostedmotorsports? Probably, just the love for cars in general, and being able to work on my stuff all the time and know that really wasn't much else I wanted to do. I've done some other things, but being able to do this and make some money or be a professional at it is probably the best job I could think I could do. What does the name Bad and Boosted mean to you? Well, I think it explains itself. Gotta have the badass ride and always some boost on it. We like to keep everything big horsepower, and when you open up the hood, it kind of gives it a big, whoa, what the hell is that over there? What's the mission or philosophy when it comes to building cars? I like to have full modernize everything in electronics the way it rides. I like to be able to drive it wherever the hell I want and just absolutely tear on anything else on the street. Beat on Lamborghinis and Ferraris, whatever it is, and say a pickup truck, that is not supposed to be fast at all, but have a bunch of horsepower and just deliver over the top. How do you describe your shop in one sentence? Fun, innovative as much as we can be, and fully custom. How did I get into the automotive and car scene, and what was like my first car build? Well, those two go together in one, My dad's always been into cars to an extent, did dirt track and did always tinkering on something, had his Chevelles and his Camaros, and there was always a Camaro in the back of his shop, 69 Camaro that was always supposed to be mine. We're gonna build it, and when time came, did exactly that. I was 14, I started building the car with my dad, and that car became like part of my existence as a person almost. Building that, making that go with him, and racing that through high school, throughout my early 20s. I won pinks all out. It was a 69 Camaro, still is. I still have it. It's getting the metal work done on it now, redoing it. The car was, I did it when I was 16. I'm 35 now, so 20 years ago, a lot of stuff can happen. But building that and doing that with my dad and getting just the rush of the racing and street racing, betting, gambling, all that stuff's super addicting and high energy stuff. So that, first race, first donut, first burnout was just hooked. There's no beating it after that. You can't go back. So that's how I probably got into it. Now I'm still into it, and there's not much to replace it. Jump out of an airplane, jump off a bridge, same shit. It's addicting. Makes our shop different than other shops in the custom car space. There's a lot of shops out there that do really great work. I can't say that some of ours is better than others, and this person does this better. Everybody has stuff that they do that's better than somebody else, and more detail on this and specialize in that. We really like to take our fabrication on our turbo stuff, and our turbo kits and intercooler work, metal fitment on the door gaps, and metal fitment inside of the engine bay, and all of our little tiny things that you don't really notice at first look, and then once you start looking at it, you see little tiny details put within the car. That's just trying to make everything as clean and as simplistic as possible, I think. What's different is that we have a team that is very humble. We're not gonna go out there and rag on anybody, say that we're better than anybody. We're gonna bring your clients in and make them feel part of the build, to where they feel like they're building the car with us, not just, hey, you stand over there and pay me money and I do it. I make them feel like they're part of the family here. So that's what I would say is different than the rest of the place. All right, so what's one of the tools or part you can't live without in the shop? Tool would have to be our TIG welder. Can't do shit without that. Can't fabricate nothing without your TIG. And then part, I mean, you guys can't do anything boosted without our turbos, so TIG welder and turbos probably the tool and the part that I wouldn't want to go without here. What's the kind of client you love working with? This is a very easy question to answer. One that gives me space, that lets me put my vision forward and is ready to do something, that we have a discussed budget and they want something really nice, they want something that's over the top, and they want something badass. You know, that's not questioning where my vision is, to where it's easy for me to just excel and show them what I have, you know, and having trust in me. That's probably the biggest client that I can ask for. You know, Greg with the Cutlass, he let me do that, and you see what we got with this car. Came out pretty cool. You know, he didn't pick me apart on anything to do with the motors or turbos or where it's going, what exhaust is going, what, nothing. Just here you go. Have at it. You know, same with the Chevelle that we're doing with the turbo kit, you know, and the motor and all that. Here, have at that. You know, and it's kind of, you just kind of see, and you see from the beginning of these like 2-3 years ago builds where you started, and then where you're going, and then how much you learn in advance within 4 or 5 years. It's kind of crazy, you know. When first doing this one, came out really awesome, simplistic. Then we go more horsepower, bigger motors, bigger turbos. Where are we going to fit this? And then now it's a whole different design because you got so much more intercooler, so much more turbo to fit in the same area. So you're like coming up even more creative because it has to make stuff fit and work. But that's definitely my favorite clients. I've had a couple of them, looking for more. What's your shop culture like behind the scenes? It's kind of funny, you know. You think you come in here, you listen to a bunch of rock and old school. There's always a bunch of house music playing, like in the background, deep house, and everyone's like the music. It was kind of funny because it's just background playing. Always trying to always got Spotify, favoriting some new songs, and we get tired of it. We play everything, but you get us through the workday. There's a lot of Rufus Du Sol, you know, Dom Dalla. So a lot of house, which is kind of funny, but really laid back. We're you know, we work 10-hour days. Everybody takes lunch real quick, and we knock out as much work as we can. We work with each other. You know, it's not a big shop, it's 3 of us, and yeah. So I'd say it's pretty chill. How do you keep quality high while pushing the limits? That just takes time. So there's one thing someone told me a long time ago, and it's, let me see if I get this right. It's 3 things. You can have it fast, you can have it cheap, or you can have it good. You get to pick 2 of them, right? If it's gonna be fast and good, it's not gonna be cheap. If it's gonna be good and cheap, it's not gonna be fast. So pick your 2. All right, future plans. Where do I see Bad and Boosted Motorsports in the next 5 years? 5 years, I'd like to see us in a new shop, bigger shop, expanded. Maybe 1 or 2 more employees. Have a couple of really good car builds done that I know we're finishing up right now. It gets us in the spotlight. You know, I'd like to get this Chevelle that we're doing. A couple magazines and a couple features. I think it's got every bit of the car to get into magazines or whatever, SEMA even, and just get us a little bit more on the spotlight. You know, I'd like to do a couple drag and drives, get some stuff where we can perform and drive these cars that are making me good horsepower, and just be consistent. You know, drive it somewhere, make a good power and AC, and drive it home. You know, so that's where I see us going in the next 5 years. So next up for like our YouTube, definitely gonna get some merch out there. You know, I'd like to do it's a big thing right now, doing giveaways, car giveaways. You know, I don't see that's like too far out of the realm. I got a 68 Camaro that I've been putting parts together for a while. That'd be a pretty cool twin turbo giveaway. The series of the YouTube is gonna be kind of dedicated to what we do, you know, car by car, and just show you day by day in the shop and stuff like that.
Welcome, guys. So who's the better driver? 3 seconds, no thinking, go.
Probably Nico. I haven't ridden with John.
Who messes up the shop the most and who ends up cleaning it?
Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Worst mod a customer ever asked for? We're talking next level bad ideas.
Giant exhaust tips.
Cowl drains. Expensive cowl drains.
Describe Bad and Boosted in 3 words.
Fun. Different every day. I guess that's not a word. That's 3 words right there.
Ja?
It's definitely different, revolving, busy, positive.
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse hits. Who survives? And what car are you escaping in?
Wow. I'm not gonna have the car for that. I need something carbureted.
Here's the most dependable so far.
The LS swapped up 150.
We don't make it.
We're not making the car.
First car you ever built, would you still drive it today?
Absolutely.
No. Old C10, rusted out, holes in the floor.
There's an 86 Malibu wagon, also rusted.
Got it. What's the worst part about working with Nico?
Scattered tools.
Missing items that you're using. Yeah.
Biggest fabrication ick?
Pie cuts. Yes, I agree with that. Pie cuts. Useless and way too much work.
Theme song for Bad and Boosted.
Highway to hell, maybe.
As a
What's the unspoken rule of working together?
Put tools back when you borrow them.
help a brother out.
Yeah.
Got it. Build off time. You two versus any YouTubers. Who wins and with what car?
If we win. Chevelle.
Got it. Thank you guys. Jason and Ja, Bad and Boosted Motorsports.